Some paths don't appear until you're ready, and some people, ideas, and experiences will show up over and over again until you finally pay attention to your true destiny. Welcome to the Destined Podcast, where resistance softens and your new self comes into view.
With your hosts, Rahana Ali
and Terry Cyril.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, Rahana. How's it going?
It's going.
It's a going. It's a gone.
It's going. It's gone. It's gone. So today we are going to discuss
Capitalism. And
And-
can we move beyond patriarchy and colonization?
Is that what we're talking about today?
That's exactly what we're talking about today.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Our undoing of the patriarchy and colonization. I got that wrong.
Oh yeah. Or yeah. Yes.
So, capitalism. The hell is it? What is this thing people call capitalism?
Well, it's everything we need to function, or what we've grown accustomed to. Like we can't live without, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least here in the West, or
I'd
the
say
Western,
everywhere.
or like the most countries, yeah.
Oh.
Right? We've come to have certain expectations for our lifestyles.
The expectations have then filtered out through social media and other
Mhm.
TV programming to other
Mhm.
areas. And they've also have the same expectations now too.
Mhm.
It's a vicious
And it
cycle.
just keeps snowballing, and
Gets worse and worse.
yeah, it's worse, meaning we're just also in a state of evolution, so that capitalism, consumerism, all of it is
All the isms.
all the isms are getting highlighted
Yeah.
in a way that is there's more of an awakening, I feel like, around
Awareness.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because I guess capitalism has really operated in the last 100 years or so, I want to say. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, longer than that.
Probably longer. Yeah.
It's been a few hundred years.
Oh,
right.
Oops. But true, I guess.
And
I guess,
then
yeah.
probably potentially longer, because it's I suppose any institution or any environment where somebody, I don't even know if, I mean, I'm not a economics expert, but my idea of it is anybody who has any influence or power
Mm-hmm.
in a in a monetary container,
Uh-huh.
right?
Hmm. And that tends to be those who are high up in the
Running the show.
patriarchy
Yeah.
or who have colonized others,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's really the basis of, I guess, capitalism in a way, right? It's about the extraction. It's about that hierarchy, that domination.
Well,
And how do you
I mean, the
accumulate?
history of like the indigenous people here in
Yeah,
North America, they had
yeah,
their own hierarchy and
yeah.
civilizations and their own form of, um, I guess, a form of capitalism within them. But uh, it's not what it is. It's not rooted in what we experience now,
Mm-mm.
which is what I believe the colonizers and the patriarchy has stripped away, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was about human dignity still about that long-term stewardship and having more of a commonality or that shared value between each of those tribes, I guess, at that time.
Mhm.
They had some unspoken rules. Like I even look into the old Vedas in India, and even in there are certain rules around commerce that, if you are stripping the land bare or if you are, taking down trees or whatnot, you're making a concentrated effort to like replant those trees or like recultivate
Yeah,
the land in that sense.
yeah,
Like you're kind of regenerating that way.
yeah.
And I feel like nowadays we've kind of gone away from that. We're locked in this logic between control of
Mhm.
land and labor and body and knowledge. Like it's just lock, 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 lock.
Yeah. Very different from even like Eastern religions and culture that's
Mm,
rooted in that level of um, respect. That theme is
mhm.
coming back up, but respecting the land, respecting, you know, um, even in war, right? Like there's so
Yeah.
it was universal law has been in play in a tangible sense until a more patriarchal, colonized
Mhm.
society came to be, which tried to really diminish that.
Mm. They try to uphold more of their own values and thinking thinking that they were right and thinking that these other systems were more barbaric when in reality they were probably more conscious. Like,
Yeah, they were much more conscious. And the irony of them thinking that the cultures that they stomped on and religions
yeah,
were barbaric was actually the opposite. And they were the ones that were the barbarians and were,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
and lacked consciousness.
I mean, the key colonizers have always been, the British. I would say that's kind of the if you think
Mhm.
about colonization, you kind of go there, but they've even colonized their own areas. If you think about it, like Ireland and Scotland, I would even say there's history there among the Irish being a bit more conscious, having a few more of those um,
Yeah, I mean,
rights. Yeah,
yeah, um,
alignment. Yeah,
they're, um, yeah, having their independence stomped on,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And then causing famines in those areas, like while they're extracting all of those goods and whatnot. Like from what I know, it was what do they caused the potato famine, or I think that's what it's called out in Ireland. They did that in India too. They started extracting all the food out of India. where it caused widespread famines when, over the last couple hundred years, you don't really see that in the system. And, it just keeps going on and on. Like so much.
Okay, well, it's controlled now in other ways,
Yeah.
right?
Well, they have quotas now. They have trade deals. They have what are they called? Like free trade deals and stuff like that in order to kind of control the movement of those goods and services, I guess.
Which we
At
can
the end.
see fully affected right now with the with what's happening in Iran
Mm-hmm.
and
At least at the
the
time of this
US.
recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's those same principles playing out over and over again.
But I mean, this was astrologically also expected, the undoing of the USA. And we're going to get political here, I guess. But there is, with, the US had been going through, I feel like they may still be, or they've come out, their Pluto return, which is wild in itself. But their undoing was expected.
Mm-hmm. Same thing for the Roman Empire too, right?
Yeah, it was time for that power to collapse. And so
now you'll see China probably. My prediction.
yeah, and I don't want to, I'm careful to not quote some of what I've heard, but
Yeah.
I believe there was a statement, but I don't quote me on this, but I can see how this would play out, is Iran would only allow oil to be traded, I believe is the right terminology. As long as they were using like the yen and not the US dollar or something to that effect.
Yuan, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, if this is real, I mean, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But that would be like the ultimate collapse of the US dollar, right?
Yeah. I think we're still a couple years away from that though. At least.
I feel like it's kind of closer.
You think it's close?
I feel like it's closer than that. Like I feel like there's an abrupt.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, but
we're placing bets on this. Over under,
yeah,
over
maybe.
under.
Yeah. Over and under. My money's on black.
I'll put my money in a red.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to happen. I mean, relatively quickly. Like you're right. Like it's a few years away, but I feel like 2027 is going to be a really like it's only, March of 2026 and it feels like it, 10 years have passed, right? So much has gone down collectively, personally. Like it's a wild ride. But I feel like 27, 28 is going to, so maybe you're right, like, a couple of years. I feel like it's gonna happen really quickly. Like I feel
you just need one honestly, I think it's once. I would say the key, I mean, now we're kind of going off topic, but one of the key crucial, I would say, aspects in this whole thing is if Saudi Arabia switches over to accepting the yuan. I think that would be the tipping point, in my opinion.
I would be surprised if it happened soon. Like I'm honestly, when I say that, like as much as it may take a few years for us to see a full collapse of their economy, because it's not going to happen immediately, but there will be a lot of suffering.
Or not,
but
maybe not.
Maybe not. And that's just it. Yeah. And then I actually feel like it's going to be okay. That's and it's not, I don't think that I'm being hopeful. It's more of I think it's going to be
transformative.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where some of this idea around conscious capitalism, I think, really comes. Hey, now we came back to conscious capitalism. Actually, kind of comes about, where I think it's more, I think it's still a question of like, is it really a real evolution,
Hmm.
or is it more kind of a widely accepted ethical version, but of the same system, in that sense of like it,
I don't
you
know
know.
if ethics is really the.
Mm, mhm, mhm,
I feel like it's more of a, sure, there's some ethics that
mhm,
need to be, redefined because it's been skewed
mhm,
by
mhm,
that administration, and we know what we're
mhm.
talking about. Um,
Wink, wink.
uh, cough, cough.
Cough, cough.
Um, but it's more of the pendulum swinging towards this new understanding, this new world, this new
Mhm,
age of this new energy that's a new way of existing,
mhm. Yeah. Well, I
right?
mean,
The age of influencers losing their influence, the age of celebrities losing their influence, or not even influence as much as um that allure is
mm,
now being dimmed. Same with the glorification of athletes, and anybody who's deemed as elite is now being villainized, or will be
mm,
villainized, and not really
mhm.
seen as it's the right. It's shifting, will be shifting, and is started shifting towards the everyday hero and
Mhm,
the real heroes, right? The
mhm.
actual healthcare
Nurses.
workers on the
Yeah,
front
yeah,
line,
yeah,
and
yeah. We saw some of that. We saw glimpses of that during COVID, in
right?
a way. That system started to crumble, I want to say,
Billy at the
back then.
supermarket who,
Yeah,
bags your groceries. Like
yeah.
it's getting back to and even a shift in how humans connect with one another, right? As much as
Mhm, mhm.
everything is being leaning towards a digital way of existing, there will be the rubber band has been stretched where
Yeah.
we, you know, the uh, the concept of family will re 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 be
Ignited.
reignited,
Yeah.
right? Like you'll have 20-year-olds getting married again and starting
Mm,
families, and
mhm.
um, sit down dinners together, and no,
Community.
screen
Yeah.
time. Like everybody is, it's no, it's going to be analog. People are going to be
Yeah.
more analog with each other, right? More present with each other,
Yeah.
because everything else is digitalized around them. And we as humans can't help but
Yeah.
need to see, touch, feel, smell, right?
Mhm, mhm.
What did I miss? See, touch,
See,
smell,
touch, smell, feel, hear,
hear.
here.
Yeah.
The key one, it's a key one. Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, especially as, I mean, you touched on healthcare. I think what I've seen over the years is that, the healthcare systems they've gone away from actually the patient experience and like solving the problem for the patient towards like optimizing efficiency. Like it's about those systems. It's about almost profit in a way
Yeah,
for
very much so.
the shareholder.
Yeah.
You know, and people within healthcare I've noticed were getting burnt out. And they were wearing that as a badge of honor, as like, oh yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
burnt
it's
out.
not
I've done so
really,
many
yeah.
hours. It's not
And
feasible.
it's
Like,
not like the whole badge of honor of being a multitasker. We aren't meant to be doing that.
yeah.
we're not really, it's not a productive way of functioning, even though,
Yeah.
and working those excessive hours. And, you know, if you're lucky,
Just
you get 2 weeks holidays. If you're lucky, you
yeah.
get health benefits. Whereas, other parts in the world, like they work
Standard.
5, 6 hours a day. They've got like 4-day weeks. They get minimum 6 weeks holidays. It's
Yeah.
very, you know,
People
and
focused. Yeah.
they're flourishing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. There was
And we're stuck in the factory.
there's a came across I don't know if it was a white paper out in I want to say the Netherlands. It was Netherlands. It was a healthcare company or a
Mhm.
nonprofit that um removed a whole layer of middle management. They just got rid of all middle management and basically went directly to the nurses and said, "Hey, nurses, you make the decisions around what the patient needs, what they care about." And as a result of that, they simplify their billing model as well too. I think they started charging like 57 bucks per 57 euros, sorry, not bucks, per visit. Um, and they started to show that I think they started off with just like one nursing team of like, don't quote me, six to eight people. And that then expanded to over 7,000 nurses. Like they've got over 55,000 patients or something crazy now. And they saved the Dutch government something like 200 million euros over a year.
Wow.
Like they're saving money, they're increasing the care, all by bringing the decision making directly the to the nurses, the ones who are actually like doing
And
the
that's
work.
just it. That's always been my argument. Like, who's making the decisions at the top when
Yeah,
without even asking the people who are actually doing the work, right?
correct. Why isn't their input being taken in, and why isn't that being a self-managed? That's, I think that was a term that they used,
Yeah.
self-managed nursing teams.
I've never understood why that's like why I've been in situations where it's, you know, you're questioning like who signed off on this without
What, the
the
top down approach, or the
ramifications of
yeah
yeah.
yeah what I think
Well,
that
that might
this
be something good for our
our own healthcare system. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it
but
comes
that
at
would
the
make too much
cost.
sense. So
Yeah.
yeah, that would make too much sense. Not to sound bitter, but
But I mean, there is a cost to that transformation. People still have jobs right now, and all that has to, shift. Unfortunately, like the cost
well, I
is.
mean, but like if you're really top heavy
Mhm.
and take a look at what your how top heavy you are and perhaps consider like is it even realistic to be paying your senior
two
executives what you're paying?
300K, whatever.
Like is that like how is like it's yeah, like there's arguments for both sides of that, but I mean it's overinflated and everybody can see
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And in most corporate environments, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is always a push for a leaner team and leaner management. I mean, that seems to be the new buzz, at least in some of the corporate circles that I've kind of walked in, of like keeping things lean, which makes sense. Totally makes sense, because at the end of the day is, who are the people actually doing the work and getting the work done, rather than signing up layers of bureaucracy in order to slow everything down instead of keeping things agile.
Yeah.
That was the whole purpose of the agile framework and methodology. Um, Probably not directly at its core, but at least as an attempt. It's and I think that's where I think conscious capitalism really is interesting, where it focuses that value around the actual end user or that stakeholder, I guess, and puts the purpose ahead of the profit in that sense. And it uses things like what we talked about previously of like conscious leadership and consciousness in the workplace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Building trust and care and safety and accountability within these types of environments. I think that's where it's interesting of, can we actually leverage that to evolve capitalism from it being the extractive thing that it is to more towards something that is based around stewardship and care. And
I think we're headed that way. It's taking a little long. I don't want to say it's taking a little longer. It's just a natural evolution now that age of Aquarius, and there is this awakening, and there's like a whole generation up and coming that gets it, right? And I think, we've got some outdated thinking that can't be helped. And some who can hold the power to squash some of that. And then others who have evolved, right? I do feel like that is the direction we're headed in. That may take a little while, though, in some environments. Some environments, it already exists, but it's possible. It's just, I mean, with the collapse of
Dun, dun, dun.
those structures, yeah.
Yeah. Then it's possible, is what you're saying.
Well, we're already in the collapse. So
are we in the collapse or are we in the regeneration?
Well, it's been collapsing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It needs to collapse before it can regenerate. That's like, it's still too
early.
Yeah, it's still early. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but that's my feeling on what I can see and what I've come to learn. And
yeah, you have the systems that are,
it's starting to collapse. It's been taking a few years, right? It
but
doesn't happen.
We saw pieces of it, like 2008, I would say, as the economy kind of boomed. That was like one aspect of it. I mean, 2003, I think, was the other one before that. Earlier was the last one.
But the actual collapse of I'm not talking about an economy collapse. I'm talking about a collapse of a patriarchal structure or a colonized way of, right?
Thinking,
That's what needs to collapse.
Yeah. The fabric of it.
Yeah.
Of those systems. Got it. But in a way, I would say the symptom is the economic collapse of those pieces
100%.
of the fabric being, ripped apart or removed.
But 2008 and 2003, 2004, they were economic collapses, but it wasn't the time. Like we're in a different place and time. There wasn't that awareness or awakening that had happened at that point.
That's true.
Enough time has passed that,
that's true.
There's been enough souls that have ascended, woken up, are aware that there's a able to sort of dictate and dictate which direction the pendulum is swinging in for where the energy is going.
That's an interesting perspective. It's almost like those events had to occur in order for it to create the systemic changes and for the conscious changes in society
none of this was
to occur.
none of this was an accident. Like it was all,
it had to happen.
Yeah,
architected
absolutely.
in a way.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
For
Yeah,
whoever could be the architect. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like it created the opportunities for those individuals. I mean, let's take COVID as an example where people unfortunately lost their jobs or businesses had to shut down. There were rules put in place for smaller businesses for them to not grow, or and you saw a
Or
lot
you
of,
could grow. You just had
or you could
to,
grow. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I flourished during
that's true.
those
That's
times.
true.
Even I mean, I lost
Yeah, yeah.
family members to COVID. But I myself personally flourished, and I did just fine financially, if not better.
Mhm.
And so, we were always given opportunities to pivot.
Mm.
Um,
It's if you take those, you're open
yeah,
to taking.
it's how you, yeah. And I've always said this, I believe when Trump was first elected back in 2016, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember being really adamant about him not winning, and then the night that he won, just that calm feeling that came over me, and I just
Mm.
went, there's a reason why he's,
Mm.
and then it was to get for him to be set up to be reelected again.
Mm.
Um, Again, it's all like you said, like um, the architecture of it, right?
Mm. The grand architecture of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I mean, there, if you want to believe in that, there is a grand architect, there is somebody, something, someone orchestrating it all in a way, or letting it all um just happen. Yeah, it's funny. I came across a quote over this weekend. Um, I think it's actually from the Vedas, where they were talking about what see if I get this right. What was there before even the Big Bang, and before even nothing was there? Who or what was there when nothing was there? I don't know if that makes any sense, but I probably didn't say it right either.
yeah. No, that I mean, it makes sense, but I guess to go back to did like you'd have to really buy into the Big Bang theory,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, it's just a
right?
theory. Yeah, to explain
Right?
a event. Yeah, yeah. Are you saying you don't believe in the Big Bang theory?
I have my questions.
Ah, oh, this would be a meaty. This would be a meaty discussion for another topic here.
I have my questions. I think it's because um, the planets, the Earth itself has been around beyond our
Understanding, yeah, or
realm of
time,
understanding. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
To speculate that, oof, here we are, you know. I think yeah, I have questions there about,
Ah,
yeah.
yeah.
Are we really from here?
Oh, interesting. That is taking us down a whole different rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
yeah.
Be on that rabbit hole for a while.
Because yeah, and that's a whole other rabbit hole. But yeah, I mean, I think I've always felt, yeah, ever since I was little. I don't know where this came from. Well, I know where it came from, but it's just I've always questioned it, what we've been told and whatnot. And I've always, it's until I was old enough to understand what arrogance meant.
Mm,
I felt that we as humans, how arrogant of people to not believe that aliens could exist. If we exist, why couldn't there be other life forms, or how could we not be sharing?
Talking about seeding. Seeded. Is that what you're referring to? Potentially.
What do you mean?
Seeded. There's a theory that exists, or a conspiracy theory, or I don't even know what it is. Let's call it theory that humans on Earth never really came from Earth, but were instead seeded onto the planet through a series of DNA experiments, so to say, that kind of spliced us to put us here to make us
Yeah, do you know what? I've never
who and what
heard of
we are.
that, but that's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
where my feeling comes from, that we were brought here.
Mm-hmm. In a way, we are. Like, I mean, um, modern quantum theory or relativity theory. Geez, I kind of said. Talks about how potentially our universe is constantly moving. Like, we weren't where we were in the beginning of time of where the Earth initially was, but instead has moved over the course of millennias, eons, through time and space. That where Earth is sitting now, when like if there is an X and Y of where
Yeah.
Earth is sitting, it's actually gone there.
I think because we're energy,
Mm-hmm.
just dense forms of energy, that it's very possible.
Mm-hmm. It is possible. I mean, there's a lot of things that are possible. I mean, whatever
That's
your
just it,
reality
right?
is, you
Like,
can
I
make
mean,
your
there's just so
reality.
much out, there's so much that is possible, that the impossible, there's room for the impossible, right?
Yeah.
Or what is considered the impossible,
I'm
right?
going to start talking in circles. back, back to our topic. I like
Back
how
to the
we
topic.
always go on these little tangents. But yes, consciousness. Well, so from your perspective, what do you think a post-patriarchal, post-colonial economy might look like? What's your what's your view on that? What's your feeling on that? I know the other topic is now more interesting. It's on the front of your brain now.
I think we'll be more community driven. There'll be more, you know, you'll be trading with your neighbors more, right?
The bartering system coming back. Oh.
Or not necessarily bartering, but it'll be
Exchange,
there
equal
won't be the
exchange.
monopolies.
Hmm.
It'll get back to, you know,
Oh, ecosystems in a way.
yeah, yeah. There'll be like each community will have their own, um, yeah, not bartering so much as, but there'll be like trade in terms of, um,
Like how communities used to be back in the day, in a
yeah,
way where you had like blacksmiths doing the work for the community and the farmer also doing
yeah.
that.
So if you
They
lived in
weren't
this
necessarily, yeah,
region, this was that's farmer supplied for that region, and they
yeah,
made money off of them. And so like each
more
area
localized.
yeah, it's much more localized. That's how I see it would get back to. And even in a digital era, I still see that, um still being directed in, like like a grid, people
Hmm.
in grids that are,
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Huh.
And you get to police yourself, or you get to,
Yeah. Your own community.
govern yourself. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Distributed decision making, I think, is one of those
Yeah.
concepts. Yeah.
So it wasn't like one big country has a superpower over their dollar is the strongest. It's, if your region in your country, so to speak, needs to negotiate energy source from another country, it's going to be a bit more handshake, mom, pa, and we've got X amount of
sheep.
coal. Back to basics, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I may sound like I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't. But you asked me what I would picture.
Yeah.
I see it getting to that type of trade within amongst your, and then like the larger resources or the bigger resources would be a bit more fair. There wouldn't be a dominance anywhere.
More ethical, more fair trade practices.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty close, I would say, to what I've researched or come to find, where I think many people have kind of gone through these these rabbit holes of thinking, what does a world such as this actually look like, or economy
it's
such
a long
as this
time.
look like?
Yeah, it's a long ways away, but
It is.
I feel like it's very possible. It could
It's also
happen
here.
in our lifetimes. But I think when you have a country like the US, who's been considered the superpower for such a long time,
Also,
and
not such a long time if you think about it in the grand scheme of things.
in the grand scheme of things, but for them to have bullied most of the world, right? That was peak patriarchy and colonialism. Like that was the poster child of what that whole system is. So once that's taken and collapsed, and there is, you push the bully out of the playground, everybody's free to play in the sandbox and on the swings, and there isn't anybody pulling you can't play with the cool kids anymore. It's everybody gets to be chill now because the bully's not threatening everybody.
That is so interesting that you say that, because I think what has been found is I think in the US, backed out of the World Health Organization, the WHO, a lot more advancements in medical research and stuff suddenly started popping up all over again, which I found to be very fascinating, considering.
Yeah, that is fascinating, actually.
I mean, I'm probably trying to draw causality where it might just
parallels. Yeah. But I mean, it's the same formula with all bullies, right? Until somebody pushes back, right? Until somebody calls them out, calls their bluff, until somebody says, show your hand, right?
Which in a way the US kind of, and Russia and China have kind of been, poking at each other.
Yeah.
You want to talk from a geopolitics or geopolitical perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
Or even the individuals internally. Yeah. That's true.
It's the US dollar. It's the US dollar that's dictated, right?
Yeah.
Even though the British pound is the GBP is used to be like the strongest currency, right?
And it did shift from the pound to the dollar, which I want to say during sometime earlier, 1945, something like that. Yeah, there's been an evolution on that front as well too.
So the pound sterling So as long as I can always remember, was always double
Yeah.
against the Canadian dollar.
Yeah. Well, that's when they were true producers. Well, I wouldn't even say true producers. They were, extracting the resources and stuff from other their colonies in a way. It's their colonies that enabled them to get to that point.
100%. Yeah.
Colonies
that
weren't
was
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Without the colonies, they were.
The pound is gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is now, if you think about it, where it's sitting. Like they don't have the colonies no more. They're working through these other sub deals.
Yeah, they've lost. They're losing their strength.
Yeah.
But there's a shift there that you can.
And maybe that's
But
what it is.
Sorry.
And that's probably what it is. It's we're starting to see, like you're saying, is the collapse, that fabric kind of collapsing, or that structure kind of collapsing. And
it's starting to show in the economy, but it has to start at that deeper level.
Yeah. It took me a while to come around to it, but I came around to it.
You always do. You always do.
Always do. We always start seeing the light after.
True, right?
That's it. I mean, everybody does. Eventually, you go through your ups and downs, and eventually, a truth does start to come out. You can't hide it for too long.
No, or you start to see it differently, and it starts to morph, and you start to understand it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Takes shape.
It takes shape. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we beat this topic.
Yes, we did. And a few others.
Yeah. And a few more that need to be explored further.
Yeah, we will be for sure. That's a given.
Yeah.
Anyways, until next time. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Rana. Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Some paths don't appear until you're ready, and some people, ideas, and experiences will show up over and over again until you finally pay attention to your true destiny. Welcome to the Destined Podcast, where resistance softens and your new